All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to talk about preparing for turkey season. This whole channel is about being an urban dad, okay? So busy dad, crazy schedule. I live in a city with limited space, so here I am in my dining room slash library slash bar area. So you see, it's limited space. But hunting and outdoor activities are something that usually require a lot of time, a lot of prep. If you really want to be successful, it takes the time. If you've seen some of past episodes of some stuff, getting out fishing, you don't always succeed. And commonly, the more time you put into things, the more successful you can be. So how do you cram the amount of work that's needed to prepare for something like turkey season into a small amount of time? That's what we're going to cover today on the episode.
Here's your shot.
Holy fish, bud.
I'm Sean Ritter. I love the outdoors, hunting, fishing. I work a hectic, not traditional job, and I love being a dad. This is my outdoor journey and how I manage my time. I'm here to help you rethink your time and join me, Return to Wild. All right, so basically this is gonna be what I refer to as my 5 tips to put a tom on your table. We'll start tip number 1 when it comes to a successful turkey season. So if you're not someone that has access to private land, much like myself, you're gonna be on public lands. It all starts with scouting and finding the best spots. I'm actually in the woods right now looking at some spots, but it can all start actually at home. In fact, what if I told you you could be scouting while sitting in bed at night? It's true. I'm gonna explain exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so now I'm back in my dining room slash library bar thing. And the other part that I do, and I think it's probably the first step in setting up any successful season for hunting anything, obviously is scouting, right? How do you scout when you have limited time? Y'all got one of these, right? I'm sure you've heard of onX Maps, right? I'm just gonna, for example here, I'm gonna try and show you a little bit of what typically I would look for in, a good piece of turkey property. So just follow along here. I'm gonna do this here. You can watch me actually in real time do it here. So I'm on my phone. Let's just go like Langlade County, something like that. Forest County. Here we go. Crandon area. Let's look here. There's some public lands up and around here. Oh, it's here like between Lake Minnetonka, Lake Lucerne. I always look for 3 things. I'm looking for open or ag fields. I'm looking for access to water, and I'm looking for hardwoods. Typically, you can find an area with all 3 of those things. That's always a good spot to start when it comes to finding turkeys. So let's take this plot of land example. There's some good stuff here. This is public land here. It looks like there's some creeks. So Forest County. That looks like it's reservation land. All right, so let's make sure we stick with this. Here we go. Looks like we've got some open fields. I got different layers on here. I can go through. So it looks like there's kind of an ag open field. It looks like there's some good hardwoods there. And Swamp Creek, look at this. Perfect. You got access to water. That's kind of a key area. Now, I would probably take that. I'm going to go ahead and drop a waypoint in there. We'll call it Turkey for now. You can change whatever set yours, but we're going to put a waypoint in there so we can mark it. So that's where you know it. So that's step 1 is I'll go through on onX Maps, and you can do this anytime. Laying in bed at night, instead of senselessly scrolling through social media or something. Of course, you can always connect with me, by the way. That's never senseless. But no, take out your phone and spend some time scrolling through onX Maps. It's super affordable. I'm not affiliated with onX at all in any way, shape, or form. To me, it is worth its money in the time savings. Again, having very limited time, I've got to make the most of what I have. And if you're in the same boat, onX Maps is going to save you a ton. So just do it for your state, if nothing else. You can really start to see some good key spots. Now that you're going to take your waypoints and your spots that you find you think are going to be productive, that's when you got to get boots on the ground, get in the field, and start limiting it down to the most productive areas. This is a great first step to get you going. onX Maps, e-scouting, it is a game changer. Love it. So scouting, we'll call that tip number 1, but really none of these tips are in any specific order. They're all, to me, I think, equally as important. Tip number 2 has to do with calling. Obviously, turkeys are very callable. And when it comes to practicing calling in around the family, the neighbors, it's kind of a loud thing, but you got to do it. You've got to work on it. I start calling months in advance, and it's super simple and easy. It's something I think we all do. That is if you drive your own car, I assume. All right, so we talked about e-scouting, we talked about calling and practicing while you're driving to and from work or wherever you're going. Tip number 3 is what I'm doing right now, is actually taking my e-scouting areas, and now I'm in the woods checking it out. What's really cool about, especially springtime, when you're trying to scout and look for sign of turkey, it's a great time to get the whole family involved. Hunting for sheds, hunting for morels, just looking for sign of wildlife. It's a really great way to get the whole family involved in the outdoors. And it's your chance to eliminate some of the not so useful areas when it comes to looking for a spot to hunt turkeys.
Daddy,
Yeah.
duck.
Duck, did you see the birds? All right, and for tip number 4, we've got to go somewhere. All right, if you're someone like me that is hunting turkeys with a bow, another tip to stay successful, got to stay warmed up, hit the range. Another one of the ways to keep yourself in shape when it comes to turkey hunting, specifically with bows, is to not only wear what you're going to wear in the field, so I'm wearing the bino harness, but also shoot from the sitting position. Think about it, if you're just standing up all the time and shooting, you finally get into the field and you're trying to sit on either a stool or on the ground, you're not used to shooting that way, that's going to affect you too. In fact, this scenario here shows exactly why practicing ahead of time will pay you benefits in the field. While not thinking, I made one huge mistake. Ooh.
That was something.
I hit my knee. When my bow, I had it right here, so when I released and the arm came down, the arm hit me in the knee.
Oh no! Oh, really?
Yeah. This is why I'm shooting sitting down right now, to remember these things. Yeah, that's right. By not thinking, when I released my bow, the limb came down and struck me in the knee, causing my shot to be off, and off by a lot. Another tip is to shoot at 3D targets, because it gives you another opportunity to see birds from different angles and the spots of where their vitals may be. And getting out and practicing at the range, whether it's sighting in and working on with your bow, or whether it's just checking patterning your shotgun, that's a really important one. I think a lot of people forget about. And it really is going to be key to your success. Finally, tip number 5. It really shouldn't even have to be a tip. I think it just goes without being said. Being organized. Having all of your gear ready, having it all in one place where it's easily accessible is going to save you a ton of time. And it's going to save you a lot of money. You know, you hate to have that part where it's right before season. You're like, oh, I'm missing this. I need this. And go out and buy it. And that's always when you're going to find it, as soon as you go and buy it. So if you have everything organized in one spot, really easy to get to, that will be our wrap it up. You're going to climb? Big tree, huh? That's a pretty tall tree. So there you go. You got it. Our 5 tips to put a tom on your table when it comes to springtime turkey hunting. I know some seem like no-brainers.
Yeah, squirrel.
Yeah, you heard a squirrel? That was a woodpecker.
Let's go get it.
Let's go get it. Let's go.
Coming.
You're coming?
I'm coming. I'm coming, Daddy.
All right, so there you've got my 5 tips for a successful turkey season: e-scouting, practicing calling, boots on the ground, getting out and practicing at the range, whether it's with your shotgun or your bow, and having yourself organized. That one of the most important. So hopefully you have a very successful turkey season with a tom on your table, and I'm hoping to do the same. See you on the next one.